Hey, everybody. This is where the funny jingly song usually comes in. Instead, it's me, Mike Leopard King Mike L. This is legit Paranormal 101. Um, I'm wearing a Benny's hat, which is now smashed on my head. My dog jumped up and smacked me. It is September 28th, 2023. Joining me as always is Sarah Paranormal. How are we, Sarah?
Not bad from the last time I talked to you 2 minutes ago. How's it going over there?
Oh, it got so much better in 2 minutes. Oh, things
2 minutes.
changed. Yeah, the whole thing
You got
changed. Yeah, everything's
you got a
better now.
you got a cozy you got a cozy hoodie on and
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's all just roses from here on out. So, about 101. So,
when
I found this thing online, and I wanted to go over it first because I've been
okay.
asked questions about it. It is what somebody used as a paranormal investigation checklist survey. All right, can we all see this? Is this what?
I cannot see that at all. Can you
All
read
right,
it to me?
I'm going to read it, but all right.
Okay.
It says paranormal checklist.
Hmm.
Have you or any occupants experienced slash know of the following regarding a reportedly haunted location?
Hmm.
Now, is that sentence too much right off the bat? Or I'm being honest, like, how have you or any occupants experienced slash know of the following regarding a reportedly haunted location? Or you think that's like a perfectly fine question to ask?
That question makes absolutely no sense to me at all.
They just
First,
overly say stuff. Go ahead.
yeah, first of all, you never ask someone to report on somebody else's experience. So if another occupant that is not you, did not have the experience, I don't care what you have to say, of a reportedly haunted location.
All right, so this thing's actually
That
letting
doesn't
them
make
say
sense.
like, "Oh yeah, no, I think my brother heard that."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My grandma's sister's uncle said that they saw an orb there one
All right,
time.
so right off the bat, they're off to a bad start. You think with this paranormal checklist?
Yes, I do.
Now,
Yeah.
so if you're a new team, and then this is one of the things you use as a checklist, you'd say, "Hey, wait, stop, new team, and rethink that question."
Yes.
You don't want hearsay.
I don't want hearsay. Um, I would ask the question, has anyone else in the building had an experience? If yes, have them fill out this questionnaire. You
Yeah, or
know,
attach it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and attach it or something. So yeah, you don't want secondhand experience
Look,
information.
so let's go through what you could check off though for things that you may have heard or had somebody in the house hear or see or experience. Voices, smells slash odors, shadows, orbs, smoky forms, apparitions, cold or hot spots, recent death of a loved one, rappings or knockings, footsteps, a creepy feeling in certain rooms, a sensation of being watched, physical sensations being touched, poked, etc. Conversations with spirits, doors opening and closing, moving slash disappearing objects, electrical disturbances, problems with appliances, renovations in location, use of a Ouija board, seances, violent deaths of others in location. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a lot, and a lot of vaguely um
Yeah.
specific. Some are vague, and then some are vaguely specific, meaning like they're like creepy feeling in certain rooms, and then smoky forms versus shadows versus apparitions.
Okay. So smoky forms versus shadows versus apparitions.
Yeah.
This whole checklist is set up poorly. First of all, so if you're even experiencing any of these, I have no idea where in the building you experience them because you're just saying you experience them.
Hmm.
Um, I have one that has similar words on it, but it's more like, have you had any experiences? If so, please describe in your own words. Then, which room did these take place in? And then there is some words that you can circle with what did you see along with how did you feel.
But shadows, smoky figures, smoky forms, apparitions, aren't
Those are
these
all
somewhat?
different things.
All right, how?
Um,
A shadow is a shadow. A smoky form is something that's kind of there, but it's not. It's in a
right.
smoky form. And an apparition is something that's kind of there, but it's not.
An apparition is going to look the most like a person. So you would be seeing a person and it would look like very much like a person to you. So a shadow or a smoky form can be in whatever shape. They don't need to be person shaped at all. And a shadow is a shadow, it's solid. So and like the smoky forms, we've had some of those, and those are usually moving, so they can be, they can
So,
come in, solidify, dissipate again.
so are we basically just saying that shadows are but shadows? Smoky forms are smoke type forms, as the
Mhm.
names say, but apparitions can be the ones where it's like what, like a head, just a head.
Yeah, it can be any. It's very recognizable as a human with at least some features. Whereas smoky forms or shadows, like you don't really see any facial features or any details of clothing. It An apparition would have some detail to it. Wouldn't just be black or sort of like misty. You
All
know.
right. But wouldn't you open with electrical disturbances, problems with appliances, renovations and location? Like, don't you want to cross those off first? Like, when you put those options first and then get to the Ouija boards and spirits and smoky forms towards the end?
Yeah, all of these things shouldn't go in one list. You definitely ask if there's any renovations that have been done to the home. That's part of the questionnaire when you're asking about the history of the home, along with are there any reported deaths or suicides? Has there been any environmental issues with the home? Is there a sinkhole there? Like, there are detailed questionnaires. This is just, it's like someone just thought of stuff and then spat it out into a list, and it's
And
in no order at all.
it looks like towards the end they decided to get alphabetical. You know what I mean? Like they try to put like the last letters at the end, but there's no rhyme or reason here. I can't figure out what the order is. Anyways, question 2 is briefly tell me what you've seen, heard, and felt. Be sure to include how long this activity has been going on and when it started. Any information about the location or its history would also be helpful. And then look at the little box they give you.
I was just going to say that you're supposed to put all that in the little box.
I
You're
couldn't
also
even, I couldn't write the question again in that little box.
like, yeah, that's a long question for a little box, and you're leaving a lot for people to forget. Those are like at least 3 different questions there alone. I mean, a good question to ask is, and the first question to ask is, when did you first start having experiences? When was the last one? Because when you're looking at taking a case, you want the paranormal experience to be recent. You telling me you might have seen an orb 3 years ago does not warrant a paranormal investigation if the activity is no longer happening. It happened 3 years ago. It's not happening now. What makes you think a paranormal team is going to come in and find anything because someone saw a ghost there even a year ago? Like, you want there to have been an experience in the last 3 months.
Okay, 3
And
months.
it needs to be something that has repeated. So your daughter saw a shadow in her room once doesn't, even if it's yesterday, doesn't warrant me to come out yet and do a paranormal investigation.
So
Your
they
dad,
get. I think they asked that next, but
okay.
the next question makes no sense. That is the third question. It says, "Do you currently have legal access to this location?" When you want to know that first,
Yes.
like, would you wait till they answered all this stuff, filled in that gigantic little box, and then you ask them if they have legal access there?
See, now this is a whole different spin on this checklist. Now, to me, this is just looks like then someone who's looking for leads on haunted locations, not necessarily a checklist to go in and help with an investigation. Like if I just want to put that out on the internet because I want someone to tell me a bunch of stuff of somewhere that might be haunted, yeah, I want to know if you can get in if I'm just looking for any place to go. If you've already called me because you think you have a place that needs to be investigated, like I should know you have legal access because I at least know who you are when I'm giving you this list, correct? I know
Yeah.
you're either a homeowner or an owner of the building. Like I've already asked you that on the phone before you even get a checklist.
So then, are we saying this is a telltale sign of like one of those surveys they use when they're just trying to gather up information and more
Yes.
video
wanna,
themselves?
yeah, they're gonna start sending you ads on their ghost hunting equipment that's overpriced or something.
Uh-oh. So wait a minute.
Fill
Next
it out.
question would be, how frequent are these experiences? Choose
Yeah.
which is closest. And listen to the choices. First of all, I hate when people use multiple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month, multiple times a year, several times, just a few times, once.
Oh my gosh.
So first off, right?
Mm-hmm.
First off,
Yeah.
if it's multiple times a day, then it's multiple times a week, it's multiple times a month, it's multiple times a year. Already checked off.
Yes.
Already checked off.
Yeah.
Already checked
You can
off.
stop. Yep.
Several times. Now, how do I know what several times is compared to multiple times a month?
Yeah, there's no way.
So
There's no way
several is what? No, seriously, like if they want you to fill this, what do they mean for someone like me that's reading this for the first time and they're asking me several times, just a few times, multiple times a month?
I feel like just the order they've put it in. What's few? A few is 2. So several's 3, and they must consider multiple anything over 3. But multiple couldn't be anything more than 1. So it doesn't make sense.
I don't know how you just turned that into math, but
I don't.
multiple's 4, huh? Multiple's 4. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I
you
never
looked
knew.
it up? Multiple's 4?
No, I did not. I'm just saying that out loud because you said that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah. You did. You don't remember? Okay. What time of day have you seen the most activity? Monday afternoon, morning, afternoon, evening, night, late night. That's after midnight.
Okay.
So what's all right? I don't. What's night from like what 7 to 11, 7 to like.
Yeah. What evenings like dusk? Like depends on the time of year, I guess. But like 5 to when it gets dark, and then early evening is from when it gets dark to when you go to bed, and then late night to me is after you're asleep. But this is all open to interpretation,
depending on your age and what you watch before you go to bed. The next question's really strange. It's the dialogue and the phrasing. It's, are you a person of faith? If so, please identify which religious faiths / spiritual belief systems you subscribe to. Also include your personal beliefs on ghosts and hauntings. They give me a little box. This is like a book. We ask you, what are you really asking me here? First off, to anybody that's actually religious and they believe in whatever religion they believe in, when you say system you subscribe to,
it's a bit demeaning.
Well, it's just you're right away going, nah, I'm not gonna believe whatever you say. You know what I mean? Well, what do you subscribe to? Like, what ridiculous magazine do you believe in? That's kind of what they're saying, right?
Right. Valid question, worded very poorly. Again, I would have put this question above asking what you've experienced for several reasons.
You want to get to know them first.
Yeah, you want to get to know if it's even before you even get into what people are experiencing. I mean, you talk about it a little bit when they call because you pick up the phone or whatever or email and they've already told you like 12 things before you can speak. So you already know, okay? You want to get to know them to be like, okay, is this a person I can work with? Before you even find out, is this a place I need to investigate? If they are telling you right away, I know it's a demon and I know that because I've been ordained by God, or, something like that. Or their belief system in the paranormal is such that they believe everything to the point where they're not going to accept a plausible, realistic explanation for something that's happening, such as, oh gosh, I hope my battery doesn't die because my computer's not charging right now. They're not going to believe you if you say, that's not a ghost, it's just dust, because everything's a ghost. And we've all had those clients. Hold on.
Okay.
My computer might actually turn off because it's just not charging right now.
If it does, I'll just start singing old Sinatra
You
songs.
can just, I don't know what's going to happen.
So, the other questions are a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, do you know of any other places in the Waco area reported to have paranormal activity going on? If so, any details you could provide would be greatly appreciated. What in Jiminy Christmas is that? I mean, that's not a blank survey. That's directed towards people that live in the Waco area.
Yeah. So this is just like, I don't know, someone typed something into SurveyMonkey, like, what question? And AI spit this out and must have had their zip code.
Well,
it's a bad questionnaire.
Please know the information you provide out of the survey will be kept confidential. My guess not, SurveyMonkey. Seems like this isn't confidential at all. This came from Waco area. Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to go to next before the questions we had a minute?
No, you keep talking while I attempt to plug my computer in somewhere else because I'm having electrical problems in this room.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, but see, the questions I have, they're going to be for you.
I can hear you.
Wow. I never. Question number 1 is literally, what are ghosts?
What are ghosts?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, I mean, that depends on what you subscribe to, because that can mean a lot of things. We're just like going to go over here, I guess, and see if my computer will.
On location.
Yeah, we're on location in my husband's office, and now.
What are ghosts?
Depending. There's hauntings, apparitions, and poltergeists, and those are the 3 categories that people just put under ghosts. A haunting is a residual sort of occurrence where it's the recording. We've talked about this, the Memorex, where the same thing's happening over and over again, but you're not getting any intelligent responses. So you're not asking them questions and they're not saying it back. You might see them, but they're not interacting with you at all. They're not interacting with the homeowners. An apparition is also going to look like a person. You can see them, but they're going to interact with the homeowners in some manner. So they're going to answer questions. They're going to try and get attention. They're not going to have the same behavior. So a haunting, like, every day at midnight, Chrissy goes and rings the bell because that's what they did in life. And it's just the recording of Chrissy.
And Three's Company. Yes.
I didn't watch that show because I'm too young.
Chrissy would ring the bell. So, but you wouldn't tell that to a little kid that asked you that same question, right? You wouldn't keep the kid there for all the different versions. If a little kid said, "What's a ghost?" What would you say?
It depends if it's my little kid. I don't even want to answer that question to someone else's little kid. Like, go ask your mom. But
so you just stonewall the little kid, not tell you just, I'm sorry, I can't answer you because it's going to be too big for your little head. Get out of here.
It's going to be too big for your little head, A, and B, your parents are going to have a different answer than me, and I don't want to hear it from them, depending if they're religious people or not. So
no, I'm not a paranormal investigator like the rest of you guys.
Right.
But I would probably tell the kid, it's when like someone in your family dies, but they turn evil and they've come back to make your life miserable, and they're going to be awful to you, and they may try to kill your parents. Now, that's just what I would say. That's probably not the right thing to tell a kid, but what do you think?
I think I would never let you babysit my kids, A. B.
What's that got to do with my answer on ghosts?
If you're going to tell them scary stuff like that. If a child asks you what a ghost is, I would probably tell my own children, I'm not going to say what other people should tell their children, that it is the remains of the spirit of who we are in life that's coming back to maybe, comfort them. Like, I don't know if they're asking that, maybe it's grandma and grandpa died or something and they thought they saw them or.
So what I was told honestly was a ghost is a spirit that is trying to make contact from another side or a different plane or how our energy never dies.
Right.
That's the only way for it to reach back.
And you now have to explain to that child what death is too.
Oh, they already know. What is a ghost hunter versus a ghost investigator?
So I don't like the term ghost, first of all. So I am going to get termy with you. If this does die out, I will pop back in on my phone, by the way.
Like a ghost.
I would say paranormal because paranormal literally means on the side of normal. And I think the term ghost, even within the paranormal field, there's not a really good definition for it. And people will argue about what's a ghost and what's a poltergeist and what's this or that. So a paranormal investigator is someone who is trying to find out the reason why something may or may not be haunted, or there might be an apparition or something else paranormal going on there. A ghost hunter is just someone who doesn't care about the why. They just want to me, make some contact or have that adrenaline rush, as you've referred to before.
Because they're not actually going to like tie the ghost up, lasso it, and like hold it up.
No. They're going, first of all, ghost people who are ghost hunters are going to places they already know are haunted. This is great, by the way, because I'm actually squatting on the floor right now. This feels awesome to try and be at the level of this computer. Oh, my legs hurt.
You could have said you could kneel. You could get a stool.
I'm going to be too short. It's on top of a stool. But this is how dedicated I am.
Squat thrust.
Show.
Yep.
Yeah. So ghost hunters already know the place is haunted. A paranormal investigator should go into a location without a preconceived notion that there is anything paranormal going on, because a paranormal investigator is going to be looking for explanations to the phenomena that might be scientific first.
There's some people blend that though. Some people like,
of course,
mostly investigator, but there's a part of them that are hunters.
I think most teams are a blend of that, with people at varying levels of the blend on the team. So people can be like 90% paranormal investigator and they're very logical and they're very scientific. And then that experience happens and they go like full like geek because the adrenaline rush hits. And some people are, 50-50. Like they'll look for that normal stuff, but they're really hoping they don't find it because they want it to be a ghost. It's a spectrum. And even within a team, I mean, each person is going to be on that spectrum on that team, which is good, which is why you want different people on a team, because you keep each other honest.
A couple hunters, a couple investigators, get them together. Nice time. Yeah.
It's
why do most ghost hunters investigate at night?
Oh, I love this question. It's stupid. They shouldn't. It's creepier at night. But there has been, and this is something I studied in parapsychology, and I've had this argument with people I've investigated with, because there is no evidence that there is either more paranormal activity at night or that you're better able to detect it. If you're investigating, you're actually less able to detect things happening at night because it's dark. Everything looks like a shadow. Like you can't see as well. There's the thing that your senses are heightened is false. That's not scientific. That is
Is it just more social?
It's creepier. It's more fun that way. It feels creepier. That's the only
more social. So, like in other words,
yeah,
hanging out with people at night it's more fun than if someone said, "Hey, you want to hang around during the day?"
Yeah, you're going to go paranormal investigating during the day. Yeah, it's not as fun. You're just sitting around at noon, waiting for a ghost to talk, it wouldn't even feel the same. I don't know. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's basically all it is. It's
Right.
actually not helpful. No.
What is the main reason why ghosts haunt houses?
My ghosts haunt houses. Um, Ghosts haunt objects. And it's usually because of some strong attachment to that object, and a house is an object.
Or property, right?
Or yeah, they can do that, a land or land, right?
Mhm. Property.
Um, I personally think that 90% of those hauntings are not intelligent. They're just recordings, which means they're not choosing to haunt it. It's just something that's left in the energy field that exists around all of us. So either something traumatic happened or something really good happened, and it left an imprint there. And we can, as people, sense it all around us. Sometimes we see it in places that we know of that are famously haunted, like Gettysburg, left such a traumatic imprint that people are physically seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, all of it. But those people aren't choosing to be there. They're not stuck there. They're gone to wherever they've gone to. It's just an imprint of them that's left in the energy field.
But so now, but when they say, why does a ghost haunt a house? Now, say it's something that's every other night is doing something different to try to get these people out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that cross over? Like when you start to realize that you're dealing with something that's not just repetition of time and experiences, but it's actually it's got its own thoughts, its own like agenda to get you out of the house.
Yeah, change of behavior is a huge one for that. So you looked for normal explanations. You can't find any other reason why these things are happening, and you realize that it is a intelligent spirit. If it's trying to get people out of the house, I haven't come across that. So I don't want to say I know for sure. I can say a lot of times where I have run into that, it's because they're trying to deliver someone in the house a message. They're trying to protect someone in the house. Something like that. And my lights just went back on. So.
They just don't want people to leave? Ever?
They might want the people to leave. So if you want to think about, we're going to keep using the term ghost. We're talking about intelligent spirits here. So I'm going to say apparitions. We've got apparitions that are intelligent and they want the people to leave. Apparitions were people. So they're stuck there for whatever reason. Personally, I think they're afraid to move on, maybe because of the beliefs that they have in life. They have unfinished business. Whatever the reason, they're going to react to the new homeowners just like regular people interact. Maybe they just don't like you and they want you to leave. Maybe they love you and they've been there long enough that they know new people are going to come in, but they like you. So they want you to stay. Or you're doing renovations to the house. And that does kick up paranormal activity a lot of times if there's changes to the home and someone was maybe very attached to their home and didn't want things changed or to look different.
It's just it's stirring the pot.
Yeah.
It's like a gigantic male dog in heat that won't stop whining.
Exactly.
Just one of those phenomenons. All right. So the next question though then is, are some people more receptive to ghosts than others?
Some people, well, yeah, the answer to that is obvious. Some people are more receptive to other people than others. I mean, yeah. Depending on how aware you are of your environment and the things that exist around you outside of yourself, you're going to be more or less receptive to living people, to dead people, to all sorts of things. I mean,
is it people are more receptive to the paranormal, or is it that the paranormal is more receptive to certain people?
No, I think it's the person has to be open to it. So as much as an apparition might like someone and want to communicate with that person that's living, if they're not open to receiving those messages, they're a completely closed off individual, it's not going to come through.
But if you're somebody that wants to speak so badly and you
that
just get
usually
shut down,
just doesn't happen.
Yeah, so they just can they just shut you down?
They can, yeah, they can stonewall you.
It's a two-way street, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. Like it's I looked it up because you asked me before that it's the um it's like a two-way trans communication. So that ITC, and now I forgot the I because I'm not in front of my computer. I had to move. But it's the communication between the two dimensions. It takes both parties to communicate. You
Sorry, that
okay?
was my that was me yelling. You, you don't want to know I was yelling. I was yelling at the dog. All right. The next question would be, what happens to people who actually see a ghost? Wow, that's a broad question. Like that's
Yeah.
a
What do you mean? What happens to them? They evaporate.
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
well, I
I don't
mean,
know. It
I guess.
happens to them.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why that would be a commonly asked question. So I'm guessing they want to know if, I guess, are you scared? And then secondly, um, once you see a ghost, what's the likelihood of seeing another one? What like does the percentage jump? You know what I mean? Like once you saw your first apparition,
Ghost.
are you more likely to see another?
We're changing position here because I can't do it anymore. So now we're gonna be sitting in front of the door. There's two ways to answer that because you can have two different things happening. You can see a ghost and then be so impressed by it that you start seeing ghosts in everything that aren't ghosts. In other ways, you're like preloading your brain that everything's a ghost. And what was that for?
No, that's to get the camera back in focus because
Oh, okay. It was like,
it's focused now on the microphone or something that I put close to it. The the dog is he's foaming right now.
do
He's
you have to
yeah.
go?
No, I if you see me disappear, my hat fly up and my glasses go up,
Yeah,
then you'll know that I'm done because he might just pull me away at this point.
it's
He's
okay. My
feisty.
computer
He's feisty. He's feisty.
feisty.
So wait a minute. So all right.
Mhm.
Um,
Sitting on the
how
stove.
can I get on a ghost hunting TV show? Oh. I actually kind of I could answer that one,
Yeah,
right?
you answer that one. I'm tired. You answer it.
How do you get on a ghost hunting TV show? All right.
Mhm.
You have to come up with some sort of like look. You have to come up with some sort of backstory. And the
Wait, what's
backstory,
the look?
oh, I
Like, do
don't
I
know.
have Ghost Hunter TV look? Do you? Who's got the look? It's a
She's got the look. She's got the look. She's got the
I
look.
knew you were gonna do that as soon as I said that.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I mean,
Okay.
I honestly, you're asking the wrong guy on that. But I tell you, you have to have the look, whatever it may be, right? Um,
Okay.
and I what I think the look is, you can't be, don't be too um unattractive or overly attractive.
Yeah.
Just
Relatable.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. Relatable.
Then you've got to be willing to record pre-produced reactions.
Yes. Mhm.
That's coming. That's
Yeah.
that's that's there. So you got to be willing to check your ethics at the door if you're going to end up being on like a show like that. I would
Yep.
imagine somewhat. I mean, you don't have to compromise everything, but you're going to compromise something, right?
I think you're compromising a lot more than people realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then everybody wants to be on one of these shows, and
Mhm.
that's a lot of people's goal. So
Right.
then, is it just that they're not doing the shows correctly? I mean, can we be that pompous to say that, or is it just that it's just in other words, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and it's just like the worst of the bad gets more
Right.
airtime. Like, well, tell me what's like what is it with Ghost TV? What is the issue with people? They want to be on it, but everybody else wants to make fun of that show. That's in the same paranormal community.
Within the paranormal community, there is a very clear line. I know you don't watch these shows, Mike.
I watch some. I just don't tell
There's
anybody.
there's Ghost Adventures and then everyone else. There is it's like I call it the Zach Baggins line. It's like the equator in the paranormal community. Whereas a lot of people that are on the side of the Zach Baggins line where they think he's absolutely full of garbage, and I am one of those people, would would have a hard time working with people that wanted to be on that show, do something similar. It's a diss. It's a diss in the community. If people watch this, I'll get slack. But it's a
Is he
diss.
what? Is he like now the Vanilla Ice of Paranormal?
He is. Oh, it's like, oh, what are they trying to be the next Zach Baggins? Because everything's a demon, and it's like, huge like reactions and.
Is this the Buddy Holly? Is this the Buddy Holly guy?
The Buddy Holly, where he's got
Buddy
the hat
Holly
and glasses
with the black rim glasses.
Yeah, that's him. He's got the museum in Vegas.
Awfully proud of him.
A haunted museum.
Oh, all right. So
yeah.
All right. Was this guy ever like
Was he ever legit?
Yeah.
No.
Never?
I don't think so.
So is he a product of TV?
He's a really good entrepreneur is what he is.
No shame in that game. I'm just saying, like how did he build up his name? Was it from what?
It's because the show produces a lot of content that I wouldn't think is believable. Because I've studied these things, but if you're the, public and you haven't studied parapsychology or been on an investigation to know that you don't walk into a place and a demon's like going to come out and say hi to you right away, you might, think this is producing great paranormal content. This guy's getting a lot of evidence. He's getting a lot of reactions. We've since learned from people that have come off of Ghost Adventures how much of that was scripted, how much of it is fake, and how poorly he's treated not only the people he's worked with on the show, but also the people that have worked in his museums. So, yeah.
Kobe agrees with you.
Hi, Kobe.
He likes what you said, what you had to say. Okay. He loves that Zach Baggins guy, don't you? Yeah, he does. He's a big fan of his. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. He's a really loud barker. So all right, let's go back to the these questions now.
Okay.
Really basic questions, but I bet they are the most asked questions because I don't think the most asked question is like something that's got like giant, Scrabble vocabulary words in it. I'm willing to bet that it's like, what are ghosts? Why, why is this? Why is like, what's a hunter? Because I always investigator sounds just so much better, right? But I would think that some people don't think it's as cool as the word hunter.
It's not as cool. And it's not always as much fun because investigating can be actually like quite boring sometimes. In reality, if you're thinking about doing those things, it's just the term. If you call yourself a ghost hunter in the paranormal community, you might get less respect than if you call yourself a paranormal investigator.
What about ghost killer?
Well, you can't kill a ghost because it's
paranormal killer. I can't be the paranormal killer. Paranormal killer. I kill paranormal things. No.
Yeah. No.
I'll spell it Killa.
I mean, that's a really good name for a team, but it would definitely be a ghost hunting team and not a ghost investigating team because, it doesn't.
Yeah, we could wear like vests that have crosses on them and like holy water and then like other things and like we'll have like a grenade that lets off like some sort of thing that clears the air. Like really have hunting gear that's not going to work, but like we can use.
Yeah, like it's right? Just more adrenaline filled, the whole hunter aspect. You think about these shows, they're going into places, they're trying to provoke something to get a reaction because they have a short amount of time. And in reality, investigators, they might go back to a place 2, 3, 4 times before whatever is quote unquote haunting gets used to you enough to give you answers in what you need to either help the people living there or help the spirit with whatever it needs to do to move on.
All right. So it sounds like ghost paranormal investigators are drinking Sprite and the Mountain Dew goes to the paranormal hunters, right? They're more the adrenaline guys. They're or gals that want to get in there and, throw themselves in the middle of something and they're not actually hunting. Right? Like that I guess that's the tough word, hunting. To me, hunting means you're hunting something to get it, bring it back.
They're
Or
hunting the thrill. They're hunting the experience, or if you want to put it that way.
all right. So, is it important to know yourself and to know what you're into it for? And I know that sounds basic, but it's true. Like,
No,
you got to make an honest evaluation, right? Of what am I in this for? Like,
right.
what is my goal? Yes.
Yeah, it's not basic at all. That should be the first question you ask yourself, because it's going to determine which direction you go into, what type of people you want to work with, and what goal you have in the end. If you're an investigator, you're actually doing things scientifically, you're recording, you're trying to cooperate with other people that are trying to do things scientifically in order to collect data to get a better understanding of what is actually going on or not going on. If you're a hunter, you're having the experience, but you're not necessarily recording data. I mean, investigators do a lot. There's people that write journal articles, and they do spend a lot of time doing serious scientific research. And hunters, I think, are more likely the ones that make entertainment. And there's nothing, by the way, there's nothing wrong with either one of those things. Just be honest, because you're going to be unhappy if you put yourself in the incorrect category. You're not going to get what you need out of it. And I think you and I kind of talked about this one of the times we were doing a show. I think it's important to examine why you want to get into the paranormal to begin with, because that might help you.
I'm laughing because I don't know if you listen to me. You said that's not basic. That should be the first thing you do. Which, wouldn't that be basic? The first thing you do?
I thought you meant basic as of like not that important. But I guess if you want to look at it that way, then yes, we had different interpretations.
Yeah, because I'm like, did I just say that? Was
I'm thinking basic. I'm thinking like basic versus bougie, I guess, because I'm in that like era right now. Yesterday, like I went and picked up a pumpkin spice latte and went and got my hair did. And I was like, I am the most basic white bitch in Tampa right now.
Wow.
So
I don't see. I never use the word. I've never called myself that before, so I wouldn't know. I don't.
Yeah, I'm in my basic fall. I'm in my basic white girl fall era at the moment, so that's probably why I misinterpreted that.
What other fall era could you be in?
I mean, you could be in like a bougie fall, I guess, era where you're gone completely ball goth glam.
Glam rock?
Glam goth. And you're going to vampire balls, but I just want pumpkin spice lattes and flannel shirts. This is all I'm after. It's easy.
So get off it.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a decision here because
go.
He's gonna.
It's 10:02. I actually
listen. Here's what we're dealing with. Just so everyone knows this. Okay. I have 2 dogs in the house. Mm-hmm. I should have got one fixed about a year ago. Long story short, the female's in heat. The male, who is a monster, you just saw his head, is he's just marking everything. It's like an R. Kelly dream. He's just everywhere. He's everywhere.
It's just terrible.
It is terrible, especially what he did. But anyways, and he's loud and he's big and he's pushy. And I'm worried that he's going to urinate on what I've got left as a bed because I can't sleep upstairs with everybody else. So with the normal people, I have to stay in the basement with the dog that's just looking for love in all the wrong places.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I want to make sure that my sleeping arrangement does not get urinated on. Okay. I apologize for the late start. We got excited with the people over from what's it? It's
Feeling.
Yep. Paranormal. Yep. Anything you'd like to say before we go? I want to make sure everybody knows it's Legit Podcast, DOTCOM on social media now. Just spell out the whole website, and that will be us. And we are doing better with the response time, as opposed to no response time, which is only an improvement.
Yeah.
But what would you have to say to wrap it up?
Stay tuned. No, just Follow us on social media. There's more to come. I think it's been a rough night. We did our best, the best we could
Oh,
for
it's
one
not
of
been rough. Man. I've actually enjoyed myself.
Okay.
I'm just more worried about a gigantic dog that thinks that my bed is a marking post.
Okay. Hey, bud, be careful when you sleep. Like jail time sleep. Wrap yourself up in a sleeping bag, whatever you gotta
No,
do.
we
Stay safe out
spoon.
there.
No, we
You
spoon.
spoon.
No, we see. He just got mad at you. He got mad at you, telling you, "What are you talking about? I'm gonna snuggle with this guy tonight. Ain't nothing you can do about it." He's like that. He's very possessive. All right. So this is us finishing up basically 2 hours of paranormal podcasting. So for Sarah Paranormal, for Kobe, Bo, Bear, it is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is a legit Paranormal 101 brought to you by legitpodcast.com. We are off tomorrow night. We'll be back on Sunday night at 7:05 Eastern
Mhm.
Standard Time. That's for Sin. Uh, Thank you. And